all good, brother. Glad I got you for a few and won't keep you for too long, but obviously want to get into the tour and look back on the past year or so and get into a couple different topics with you. But first and foremost, congratulations on Darkbloom Part 2. So rad to see you, back in 2021 at the Glass House, because that's out in our market in Pomona in the 909 Inland Empire, California. And now you've graduated less than 2 years. You're at the Fox Theater playing to 2,000 people. Just goes to show you where the band is at and the success of the latest album, Darkbloom, I think.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for having me. And yeah, it's exciting times for us for sure. There's been moments with this band where, I mean, especially after Kyle passed, where we were concerned if we were going to be able to keep doing it or if we wanted to keep doing it. And, we knew we had to respond to everything that happened. Our fans were waiting to hear something. And we knew we at least had to give them that. And, with the success of Darkbloom and everything else, it's like we've totally fallen back in love with what we're doing, and the growth of the band's been insane. And it's funny because there was a minute where I was like, I think we might be hanging this up soon. I don't know how much longer we're
Wow.
gonna go, and now it just seems like we're gonna keep going forever.
Well, large part due to you, man. I mean, you got to give yourself credit for what you've done vocally and stepping up and handling both parts like that. Not an easy task at all.
No, it wasn't. It was super hard, and it's still not an easy job by any means. I have to do everything in my power to make sure I'm ready for every show. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of work, but you got to do what you got to do to make ends meet and keep it going.
Well, I love it, man. I'm glad you guys did. And like I said, can't wait for the show in our market. Fox Theater, being at the theater now with Mirror, who are legends, Body Snatcher, and Archetypes Collide, who I really love their debut album or their self-titled album, I should say.
Yeah, this tour is awesome. It's nice touring with bands that you have a history with, like with us and Amir. We've known those guys for like 10 years, and they're always easy to tour with, super friendly. They crush it. So it's comforting knowing what you're getting into. And then we didn't know the Body Snatcher guys, the Archetypes Collide guys yet, but Body Snatcher stage on stage, they're a bunch of maniacs, and off stage they're soft spoken, super friendly. And yeah, Archetypes Collide, getting to know those guys. They're definitely newer to the touring world, and but they're very humble, very cool. Nice hanging out with them as well.
Yeah, and like you said, Amir, old school, man. And Frankie, a legend. I imagine someone you probably looked up to a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool being on tour with those guys. Every time we tour them, it's great. Um, and Frankie's just a cool guy to be get. Can you hear me okay? Is my
Yeah, yeah,
internet messing up?
I got you.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, like I walked into Planet Fitness 2 days ago, and I got my headphones in and I'm getting ready for my lift, my little pre-show pump I like to do. And across the gym, I just hear a yo. Like, what was that? I look in the corner, it's Frankie, and he's like, "What up, man?" Like across the whole entire gym. It was kind of funny. Everyone like stopped what they were doing and looked like, "Who's yelling?"
It's
Frankie's awesome.
funny thinking about you and Frankie and just seeing you now and thinking of you on stage. I feel like you're in this kind of elite fraternity, and it almost, the more I think about it, is kind of a metalcore thing, perhaps, but an elite fraternity of singers who always wear hats, singers who you expect to see in a baseball cap on stage, like you. I was thinking about it, man. You, Howard Johnson, Anders of In Flames, Frankie, Jake Lures from August Burns Red, but JTK. Who else am I missing, man? But it's an interesting thing because it's not something you think about, but you don't typically see singers wearing hats. But then with you, I can't picture you not in a hat.
Dude, Fred Durst too. I think
Yeah,
he's the only one you
yeah.
missed. Yeah, man. I don't know. It just kind of became like a look, and now I don't know. I've always liked wearing hats, and yeah, it's nice to be in that kind of company though, that's for sure.
Was it a conscious thought, or you just kind of walked out on stage with it once and it just kind of stuck, or do you not even think about it?
Yeah, I remember like trying it on Warp Tour in like 2011, and I was like, it's kind of nice, like I don't have to, at the time I had a full mop of hair too, but I thought it was annoying to like have to do my hair and then worry about like getting sweaty or getting messed up. And I was like, man, wearing the hat's just kind of like stress free, I just throw it on and go. And then it just like kind of I was like, oh, this adds to my outfit. I can like wear different clothing brands or, and, and I just don't think I ever really took it off again.
Well, yeah, it makes sense on Warp Tour, like playing in the middle of the day. You could use that sunshine staying out of the eyes for, I'm sure, big help.
Yeah, dude. And I get sunburned so easy too. So, I mean, I just started doing it and then I was like, this is kind of nice.
Speaking of wearing hats, it's great to see you wearing a Detroit Tigers hat because I feel like I've only seen you in just basic black hats. And I was gonna say I'm shocked that I haven't seen you in a Detroit Red Wings hat yet because you're such a big Red Wings fan.
Yeah, dude. Hockey season just starting. Honestly, I do plan on getting a Lions hat or a Red Wings hat here now that we're, into football and hockey season. I try to keep my hats seasonal. But yeah, man, I got to get to a mall and find one.
Well, yeah, Lions are having a great year so far, man. They're off to a great start with our castaway quarterback Jared Goff, being a SoCal guy, Rams fan. My team, Rams and Ducks, on the hockey tip.
Oh yeah, it's it's a good. It's been rough in Detroit sports the last few years for sure, but the Wings and the Lions are coming around, man.
Yeah, Lions off to a great start. Wings off to what 2-1 so far, and kind of I feel like kind of in the same boat as my Ducks, kind of in a rebuild mode, but maybe a little further along than expected.
Exactly, exactly. I think last year they were making a push for the playoffs and they lost a couple crucial games, and then Steve Eiserman just stole everybody, and kept his young core. And this year, that it seems like the goal is a wild card spot. So hopefully, that'd be great. It's been a minute since we've had a playoff game in Detroit, but that'd be great.
Man, thinking of Detroit, I'm so glad that they realigned the leagues a few years ago. Got Detroit out of the West because they were always so many battles with the Ducks and Detroit always kicking our butt.
I'm glad too. I mean, it was so much travel for Detroit. I mean, why were we in the West? Like
Yeah.
geographically, we're nowhere near a lot of the West Coast teams. But yeah, and it's nice. I lived in LA for a few years, so I hate to say it, but I became a Kings fan. And
Every
then it was nice that the Wings and the Kings were no longer, in the same conference anymore. But I got a lot of friends that are Ducks fans, and they hate me saying that, and I'm sure you do as well. But
yeah.
can't help it, man. I used to go to the Kings games, and I would have so much fun. I couldn't help but cheer for them.
Hey, any love for Trevor Zegras? Come on.
Yeah, that guy's incredible. It's so fun watching his videos. I mean, it's got to be a fun time to be a Ducks fan. You guys got some exciting things going on.
I just wish we had a little defense going on. I mean, we can score, but we just got zero defense going on right now.
Yeah, at least it's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, get some highlight goals from
Um,
Zegras every once in a while.
yeah, I actually have a special place in my heart for the Ducks, regardless, because my wife and I met in Anaheim at the Hilton there, at the Anaheim Convention Center. And my whole like story when I proposed to her is that we were going to go to a Ducks game. And in reality, I was taking her because the Ducks happened to be playing the Wings
Ah,
that day that I was proposing. And we just happened to be rolling through on a tour. It was crazy. Like the stars aligned. And we pull up to the game and then we make a sharp left and go into the Anaheim Convention Center. And she's like, oh my God, are you taking me to where we met? And she starts freaking out. She thought it was so cute. And then, we went inside and I proposed to her where we met. But it all started with that we were going to go to a Ducks and Red Wings game. So in a weird roundabout way, whenever I hear the Ducks, I think about that.
and you guys just celebrated an 1 year anniversary?
It was our 5th year anniversary
Fifth
of
year
being
anniversary.
married. Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Yeah. I met her almost 10 years ago. Been married for 5. So it's very cool.
Why at the convention center? Was it NAM show or something?
Oh yeah. It's super random. Her cousin, when I met her, was working in music management, and my wife tagged along with her just because she was bored, was looking for something to do, and kind of the same reason I was at NAM was I was just okay. I guess I have to go. I'm a singer. I can't
Right.
really look at that much equipment, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
I was also bored, and I went to the Hilton there to grab a drink because I was bored. And she walked in because she was also bored, and you know, we met and it clicked, and she had no idea who the band was or anything, and
That
filled
made
her
it
in about
easy.
us. I think she thought we were like a shitty like garage band or something, and but yeah, she liked me for me, which was cool, and the rest is history.
So now will she forbid you from going to Nam? Scared you're going to meet somebody else, or do you go to Nam still? Or
uh, I have not been to Nam since I met her.
oh,
And it was funny. I was complaining like the whole time because the guys were having a great time. They were looking at all the new gear, new guitars, this and that, doing all this press, and I'm just sitting there in the background, bored out of my mind. um, so no, I have not been back. I met my wife at Nam, so love Nam for that, but I don't know if I'll be going back.
I'm just glad they finally got it back in January because it wasn't for a couple years during the pandemic, and then they had it in like June 2 years ago, and then this past year it was like April or something, and now it's finally back in January this coming year.
Yeah, I'm just talking shit or crap. Sorry if this is live. um, I'm just talking crap. I would totally go back. It's always fun. I make the most of it. I'm not always there for the gear, more the hangs, and
Sure.
really good friends with a lot of our artist reps too. So it's always good seeing those guys, and um, good times. I'm sure you've been in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. David, appreciate all the time. Last couple of things I wanted to hit you with, man. I talked to Kyle last year, and I gave him credit at that same time. Super cool that you not only included them on Darkbloom, Brand of Sacrifice, I'm talking about, but normally when there's a guest spot, it's hey, chip in on a vocal part or a guitar solo. But you said, no, go ahead and reimagine our song Darkbloom. Like, have fun with it, do it how you want, which I thought was so freaking cool. I've never seen another band really do that before, but obviously you trusted him in doing it and he came out with a great product.
Yeah, that is forever. I think one of the coolest collabs we'll ever do. Yeah, I mean, in the past we've done acoustic renditions of songs, and that's always like a popular thing to do. But we were just trying to think outside the box, like what's something different we can do, and and we were like, well, let's do the opposite. Acoustic's always lighter.
Right.
Let's make it nuts, and who better than Brand of Sacrifice to make something insanely heavy and insanely crazy, and that's exactly what they did. And I don't know that we'll ever top that. That was so cool. I agree with you. I mean, I listen to that song as if it because it doesn't even sound like our song anymore.
No,
It's just
no.
so incredibly cool. So I love listening to it.
Is that something you would do again? Give a band a song and go have at it? Or does it have to be the right band, the right time?
I think the right band, the right time, the right song. I mean, that song already is so close to being just a super heavy song. I think all it needed was that little extra push, and it was there.
Speaking of collabs, you and Brand of Sacrifice again helping out oh god, I'm Harper on the song Waiting
Yeah, yeah.
Below. How did that come about?
Super fun. Her team reached out and asked if I'd be interested. Um, I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. And Brand of Sacrifice too. Like, let's go. And went into the studio and wrote some stuff, tracked some stuff. I was really nervous because I wanted them to like it, and they did. And they took it and ran with it. And then they asked me to be in the video, and I was like, absolutely, I'll be in the video. Yeah, man, I love doing features. It's sometimes they don't work out because we'll have a bunch of touring going on. I just can't get in to write or record anything. Or I'll have another feature that's coming out, or um, so this one it just worked out perfect. It lined up and made it happen.
Had you heard of her before? Did you see her on TV or anything before that, or just got the phone call?
Oh yeah, I had heard about it, and even like my parents, they were like, "Did you see this girl?" Like they were telling me about her too, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I've heard of her." And then I was like, "Guess what? I'm actually doing a song with her." And my parents are like, "What?" It's kind
Funny
of
the
funny.
thing, funny the things that like parents pick up on. It's got to be on TV for it to be like real and make sense to them.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, I'd heard of her, and she's so incredibly talented. It's cool. It's cool to do something with her. And yeah, she came out to our show in the UK. We were at a festival, and she came out, and we didn't have service all day. Like our phones weren't working, and we were trying to meet up with her to like
Ah,
actually meet her, and it didn't work out, unfortunately. But
ah.
hopefully we can try again.
Yeah, take her out on the next tour, maybe.
Yeah, she's crushing it. That'd be awesome.
Last thing I got for you, Dave. I appreciate all the time. We're an old school radio station. We do a feature called Mandatory Metallica every night at 10 p.m., which you're going to be a part of. I imagine you're a Metallica fan.
Yeah, I mean, who's not?
Do you remember how you discovered them?
Honestly, it's something I discovered really late in life. Growing up, I was always like a pop punk kid, and as I got into heavier music, I mean, just this is just like a few years ago, even I kind of like backtracked to like what made the heavy music we play now, like what were the roots from that, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And Andy, actually, our bass player, was the one that would like show me different riffs of theirs and different cool stuff they do, and yeah. So yeah, I mean, I was very late to the party, but a lot of respect for what they've done for metal.
Yeah, and still crushing it 40, however many years, 43 years or whatever it's been later, and playing stadiums, doing 2 nights in stadiums and no repeat weekend and all this stuff. I mean, I would think that regardless of music, that's kind of the goal for every band, right? You'd love to be around 40 years from now doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, if I could be here 40 years just doing the tickets for doing, that'd be incredible, let alone playing stadiums like they're doing. I mean, so much respect for them being at the age that they're all at and still go up there and rock. And yeah, it's incredible. I really hope I can have that kind of health and career to be able to do what they're doing.
Have you gotten to see them live or share a stage with them at a festival or anything yet?
No, man. When they played Detroit, I was like, I gotta go. I was so amped. And then I looked and I was like, oh, we're
On tour?
on tour when they're here. Yeah.
Ah,
So no, I missed it. Um, but I hope one day it lines up where I could go see them. I mean, like I said, I can't call myself like a hardcore fan of theirs. I got into them like super late in life, but it's something you just gotta see if you can.
mm-hmm. Yeah, they played the big Power Trip festival, and I took a buddy of mine who had never seen them, and his jaw's still on the floor a couple weeks later. They're just incredible
Yeah,
live.
show that size and that production and that kind of energy. Like, how could you not love it?
Well, lastly, do you have a favorite Metallica song we could play for you on Mandatory Metallica? Do you have one that comes to mind?
Oh man. I don't know, man. Just enter enter Sandman, I guess.
Yep,
I
yep.
don't know. You put me on the spot.
That's a
Scared.
big one. That's a big one. That's
Yes.
that's a big one. Yeah, we'll rock that one for you. No problem, Dave.
Okay, man.
Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, that's a tough question. There's a lot of them, but yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, enter Sandman. It is beautiful, man. Thank you so much for the time. Can't wait to see you out there at the Pomona show.
Dude, thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Likewise, we'll see you in Pomona. Safe
All
travels.
right, man. Thank you.
Bye bye.